Hey everybody, happy Saturday to you and welcome to Book Chat. I'm your host, Author Vivian E. Moore. I hope everybody's having a wonderful weekend. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope you had a chance to get out and enjoy the first half of the day, which was absolutely beautiful. It was nice and warm. It was very spring-like finally, but I can't complain because throughout the week it has been like super nice outside, just cool nights, but very warm days, basically sweater weather in the morning times, but then you could lose that sweater, if you went out for lunchtime or on your way home. The pollen is another thing, and I have to complain about that just a little bit because if you are a allergy sufferer like I am, then I know you're not very happy right now about springtime with everything blooming out, the trees, the flowers. Oh my gosh, especially here where we are in the Southeast with the, we are just like overpopulated with trees and flowers here. And our city sort of, it sits in a bowl because we're surrounded by mountains and ridges. And so it's like we just get everything just dumped on top of us. It just falls from those high areas and it just floats down to the low areas and it just sits. So, I hope you've had your allergy shots this year, or, your over-the-counter allergy meds, whatever you need to survive springtime. Because usually once everything, buds out, everybody pretty much adjusts to, the pollen and things of that nature. But then, there are allergy sufferers who their body just never settles down to, to the pollen levels because they just fluctuate from day to day. But, we're getting some rain today, so I think that will help rinse the air just a little bit until the next day we get sunshine and then it just starts all over again. But anyway, I hope you're having a wonderful Saturday. And again, I'm happy to be here with you. I'm always happy to be here with you. I do enjoy doing this show. And I know it's only for 15 minutes, but, there's a lot of information packed into that small amount of time. So if you'll grab you something to write with and something to write on, we'll get started with these URLs because this allows my listeners to reach out to me on a larger scale and to follow me, to see what I'm up to see the things that interest me. And you can do this on a daily basis. You just don't have to wait until, you hear the show on Saturdays. You can just take the initiative and look up all this information on your own time. So here we go. This is the first one. Of course, it's to my Spreaker account, and that is https://www.spreaker.com/user/author Vivian E. Moore. You can also follow me like me on Facebook, which is https://www.facebook.com/author Vivian E. Moore. You can also follow me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is God's Property 46. You can also reach out to me on Instagram. I always upload the show details on Instagram every Saturday, and that one is https://instagram.com/God's Property 51. You can also check out my website, which that is going to be upgraded soon, and it'll just be vivianmoore.com. But at the present time, it's still https://vivianmoore.wixsite.com, author Vivian Moore. And you can also check out my blog, which is updated every Saturday, and that is https://vivianemore.blogsite.com. And you can also listen to the recorded shows on iHeartRadio and also on iTunes Radio if you want to if you missed the live version and you just want to listen to the show, then you can definitely go to those mediums, or you can just go to the Spreaker website and you can listen that way as well. All right, so if all minds are clear, let's move on to today's show. The title of today's show is What's My Motivation? And the topic is taking direction. some of the greatest movies ever made, videos ever created, and songs ever recorded were a result of someone having enough wisdom to accept that two heads are way better than one, and they also accepted the fact that they needed direction. For one, who is a newbie to the overall scheme of how the business works, whether you're in show business, you are a writer, you are a singer, whatever your chosen profession is, it just makes sense to listen to those who have already experienced this world by trial and fire. And basically, when you accept direction from those who who know just a little bit more about it than you do, then they're trying to help you avoid those trials by fire. I, for one, have always tried to listen to good, sound advice. And it started with my parents. My mother always gave out very good advice, and I listened to what she said. And there were times still when I wanted to do things my own way. But for the most part, I always listened to her because, she had years of wisdom. And she had already walked over the ground that I was now treading upon. So she knew firsthand what she was talking about. And so, this just carries over into your professional life as well. If you learn to listen at an early age, then, that just propels you forward for the future. And it helps you to continue to do that. You can, and it pretty much helps you to gauge when somebody's pulling your leg, or for a fact that what they're telling you is really, really good and that you should listen. But now imagine if Chadwick Boseman, and he's one of the brightly shining stars of the blockbuster Black Panther. How many of you have seen that thus far? I saw it. I went with my daughter and two of my grandbabies. We went to go see it. I think it was like not the opening night, but that next night. And the theater was packed out with everybody. And I'm telling you, I was so excited. I was so thrilled. I was just, my body was so rigid from excitement from watching this movie, because I didn't know what was going to happen next. But it's just that type of movie that, it just has all of your senses, at the highest level. And, you're just, oh my gosh, not so much suspense, but just that excitement level. Everything about that movie is just so wonderful. It's well written, it's well acted, and just, as far as sci-fi goes, it's a little bit believable, but as far as the premise of the movie, all of those things could probably happen. But the things that take place in the movie, and I don't want to spoil it for anyone who has not seen it yet, but I'm pretty sure everybody that has an interest has already seen that movie, because it's getting ready to come out on DVD soon. But it's just one of the great movies of the Marvel movie franchise. And what I think about Chadwick Boseman, and not to slight any of the other actors that were in the movie, but of course he played Black Panther, so of course he gets the top billing, and so he gets the honorable mention today on this show. But he, from my perspective, I think that he wasn't too big of a star to listen and to take direction from the director of that show. I think his name is Brian Coogler, if I'm not mistaken. I may have gotten his first name wrong, but I know his last name is Coogler for real. But he had a lot of other movies, a lot of other big movies under his belt. Chadwick Boseman did, but you could tell that when a movie is well directed, when it's well written, the actors, they have the easy part. Basically all they have to do is just follow, that script and listen to, what the director is trying to tell them, and you get a blockbuster like Black Panther. You just can't go wrong that way. And so, but his name, it would not be trending right now, if he had been one of those difficult actors who wanted to follow their own lead instead of listening to someone, who is seasoned and they know how to pull the best out of you, to get the most out of whatever the project is that you're working on. And, and quite possibly, that light, that bright light shining could possibly never twinkle again, if he wasn't wise enough to realize that someone knows more than he does about what is required for success. And I believe that one of the hardest things to do for any individual is to take advice, even if it's sage. As humans, we are naturally skeptical and we are geared to follow our own minds. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that, because we should sometimes listen to the voice inside of our heads, but still, it's okay to listen to others that are trying to direct us in the right direction. There are times, however, when we should allow others to share their opinions, especially if it is helpful to us. And let's just face it, we all need help for one reason or another, whether it's staying focused or trying to remember important details and how we portray them in the characters we create. I've always said that criticism, it isn't a dark mark against our character, specifically if it is constructive or conducive to pointing out our weaknesses in order to develop them into stronger traits. We need that. Every time somebody critiques you, it is not centered around, trying to pull you down, trying to make it seem like that you don't know what you're doing. Critiques are good because we need that. Because if we never are critiqued, then we never know where our weaknesses are. We never know where our strengths are. So that is something that you should look forward to. And I know that it is not something that's very popular because no one wants to be critiqued, especially if it's not positive. If it's something that we feel is negative about our character or negative about whatever it is that we're doing in this life, then that just does not satisfy us. But trust me, critiques are good. We all need them in one way or another. And the truth is, motivation and direction are necessary elements when staying on course in our charted destination or on our charted destination. We can all benefit from positive instruction, but we must first learn to let go of the destructive things that stand in the way of becoming the best we can be. The remedy is waiting for motivation, then taking direction. All right, folks, that's all I have for you. I always try to keep it short and sweet for you. I try not to go over 15 minutes because I know that your Saturdays are just as busy as mine are. But I do so enjoy these few minutes that I have with you on Saturdays, just to bring you this little short blog and to help you, just to give you just some sort of motivation, to help you, to point you in the right direction. That is my goal, to always uplift, to always inspire, to help you reach your goals. And, tomorrow is Sunday. I can't leave without telling you that, as if you didn't already know what I'm about to say. But anyway, take a loved one with you to church, take a family member, take a friend, take some children to church with you, because they need to know the word too. It's important for them to learn, because that's when they should get it, when they're very young, and and it will help direct them. It would help get them started on their motivation, and giving them the direction that they need as well. As to when they become adults and they have children of their own, then they will have that strong foundation, to help get their own generations started. And also tell somebody that you love them, because tomorrow is not promised. Today is the only day we may get to say that. So I love you. I hope you love me back. I hope the next time you hear my voice that we will be able to sit down and talk about these shows and hopefully plenty more to come. Until then, God bless you. Goodbye. I love you. Have a nice weekend.